Hello again, and as I said on the end of the last video, I am here up on the roof about to start the prep for the painting. Not hugely looking forward to it, I have to say, but it has to be done. It's quite interesting. You can't really see it so much on the video I'm just looking at now, but maybe if I try to stand up a bit further apart. Sort of, yeah. I've just taken the tarpaulin off at the front, and you can see now the primer's an epoxy primer, and is it's quite well it's stated that it's not, the colour isn't UV stable, and even in a couple of months you can see how the roof that's not been under the tarp has faded quite a bit. It's really quite obvious from where I'm standing. Anyway. It's not going to be a very scintillating viewing watching me sand the roof, so I'll maybe do a bit of time lapse, but otherwise I will rejoin you when I've got some progress. What? Don't you vacuum your roof every week? So, it looks like I've started painting already, but I haven't. It's just there are a few bits when I was sanding. It's kind of interesting. One hand, I was surprised as how ineffective the sanding discs are after about the first couple of seconds. How useless they are at trying to sand the paint. I mean, you probably can't see, but there's the complete sort of orange peel look on this, which means the thing isn't super smooth. But on the other hand, most of this is going to be covered up with solar cells, and the bits that aren't, I'm going to be putting non-slip, granules on it. So it's going mad trying to get the finish is the thing. However, there were bits when I was just moving the sand, although it wasn't very great at sanding per se. If I just got at the wrong angle and caught the edge, it went straight through to the metal in instant seconds. So what I'm doing is, before I do anything else, is I've got a tin of primer. I'm just putting a dab of primer back onto where the bare metal bits were, especially as I won't be doing anything tomorrow, so I don't want to be leaving it bare metal to go on. Yeah, the finish. I'm just putting with a brush, so the finish is not great at all. But hopefully, I'll just give it another light sand before I carry on. I'm also going to go around the combing for the skylight while it's there. I thought, given it's going to be sort of encased in the wood and things, it might be useful to have another coat of primer. Well, I hope the weather forecast holds true and it doesn't rain tonight, because I'm sleeping with a big hole in the roof, and I really don't want to be getting up in the middle of the night to whap tarpaulins over. The primer I put on is still a bit tacky, so I don't really want to put the temporary covering back over right now. And I'll be zipping our sleeping bag up, because it's going to be plummeting down to about 10 degrees. So back to being cosy. Well, it started absolutely tipping down. Happily, I'd just about woken up, so other than having to scramble outside in my pyjamas on the roof and get the cover back on, nothing too untoward. And the paint is set overnight, so that hasn't been affected. So a close shave. Well, I'm glad the sanding's over, so now what I've got to do is I'll go over again with the vacuum, try and get the dust off, and then a good wipe down, wash down to get as much dust off as possible. It would be great if I had a hose, but there isn't a hose pipe down here, by the way. There are plenty around the country, but anyway, it's regardless, because my hose I've got doesn't reach the water point, which is miles over there, so we'll have to do it manually with the bucket. Well, that's that done. Now, it's not forecast to rain, but it's looking to me like it's very much about to. So it's lunchtime, so I'm going to have a sandwich and see, take a view afterwards, see whether I dare risk. But I know as soon as I get that paint pop out, it'll start spattering. Let's see. Well, I've just been talking to the neighbours a few boats along, Rachel and Sally, and they're painting as well, and we were both like, what's going on? I mean, it's... Rachel reckons she's just felt a couple of spots of rain, and I just don't know what to do. It does look like, certainly over there, it looks like it's definitely rain clouds, but I really want to get on with it. It's supposed to be clearing up towards the evening, so I might just wait a wee bit longer and see how it goes. The other thing is I'm going to first of all do if I do it, I'm going to do around the roof light area, because as I found it last time, so hopefully that will dry by the night, so I can put the cover back on and I don't have to sleep again with it off. But and if that does get a bit of rain on it, that's not going to be the end of the world, because nobody's going to see it. So maybe I can go ahead on that basis. Anyway, so I'll give it a little longer and see how we go. Right, I'm going for it. Sorry about the camera angle. I suspect that when I look at the video you're just going to see shots largely of my bottom, but let's see. I can't do it the normal way obviously because I'm painting where I normally put the camera. Well, for now, I seem to have got away with the rain. There were many points during that me painting when it looked like it was going to start raining. But anyway, it's a good job that I wasn't looking for a mirror gloss finish, because I would have been more disappointed than. Well, I'm not disappointed, but it was quite hard getting that stuff down. I'm using something called Jotun XP, which is a two-part polyurethane, similar to the two-part epoxy primer that I've had before. Which, you know, the reason I'm using it is, well, it started with the Jotun paint, so I thought I'd keep with that. But the other thing, you know, it's supposed to be long. It's used on commercial ships and things, so hopefully it won't be long-lasting. But you know, it's not great to work with. It sets up quite very quickly and because there's a chemical reaction going on. So what I'm going to do is the next one, the next coat, I've ordered some thinner to put it in to thin it out a little bit. So hopefully it will flow a bit easier. As I said, I'm not looking for a gloss finish, but I would prefer it a little better than that. The other annoying thing is, oh gosh, the stuff that's coming out of the out of the sky, as it were, annoying. I don't know if you see. There's lots of these little tree seeds that have fallen out of nowhere, so I'll have to get those up. I'm sure they'll come back come back next time I do it, so I'm just going to have to suck that one up, I suppose. There's nothing I can do about it other than finding an internal paint shed, which is just not feasible at the moment. So yeah, so at least it's done. That's not done, but the first coat. And the other good thing, a 5 litre can of the paint, and it's taken exactly 2.5 litres to do the top, the one coat. So hopefully that means that'll be bang on for doing a second coat, and won't have any bits of paint. Yeah, as it's bank holiday, although I've ordered the thinner today, of course it's not going to be sent out until tomorrow, and it'll take a day or so. So I guess I'll have to wait until a bit later in the week to do coat number 2. So that means that I can get back to the dog box. The other thing as well, this is called Telegrau. Telegraph. Supposed to be Telegrau. No, it's not Telegraph. Telegrau grey. It's sometimes it looks grey, sometimes it looks white to me, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Anyway, see you later. Afternoon. Well, it's a few days later now. It's Thursday. When I last spoke to you was Monday, and the sanding discs have arrived, so I should get on with the roof. Unfortunately, there's been a bit of a wrinkle in that the thinner that I ordered from the company was great last time, and dispatched it the next day, and it got there the following day. Hasn't arrived, and I phoned up yesterday, and it looks like FedEx have mucked up, so they've dispatched it, but there's no trace for where it is. So they're really nice, and they're sending out some more, but it's not going to be there until Monday. And I can't wait until Monday, because tomorrow is the last day of decent weather by the looks of the forecast, and after that it's back to normal service, and it's just rain forecast every day. So I better just get on with this, and the thinner will have to wait for using on the side, which is, to be honest, is probably what it needs most for where you can see it. This, as I said, although from myself knowing it, this can bear a bit of imperfection. So yeah, so I won't bore you with yet more shots of sanding and painting, but I will crack on. Meanwhile, last few days I've been doing very progressing with the roof light, but I'll wait for that. I'll wait to put that stuff in the sort of the next video, just to keep all the sort of subject together. Anyway, catch you later. Afternoon. So I'm here the next day. Yesterday I sanded all the roof and cleaned it down and got it ready to paint. But by then it was a bit too late to start, because I would have done it and it would have been in the evening, and then it would have likely started moisture condensing on it over the night, as the sort of dew forms overnight. So I looked at the forecast, and it was supposed to stop raining there was supposed to be some rain this morning, and it was supposed to stop by 10 o'clock, so I thought, well, I'll wait till today. But of course here I am now. It's now early afternoon and it's still raining, so the forecast now says tomorrow it should finish raining in about an hour or so, but then kind of late into afternoon it says it might be okay tomorrow. I'm really not sure what to do. I guess just as last time, I guess I'll have to wait an hour or so and then take a view whether I risk it tonight or wait tomorrow. If I don't get it done tomorrow, it's not going to happen for some weeks, because the weather forecast is really unsettled, and it's just forecast for rain all over the shop for days to come now. Well, trying to be positive, at least I'm telling myself it's had a good wash up above the washing I did yesterday, so there shouldn't be any dust left. But I tell you, even the rain's obviously not that clean, because the cloth is getting filthy already. Well, happily I took a gamble on the weather, and I seem to have got away with it. Last time you saw me wiping it down, and I was in two minds, but I gave it a good dry, and it dried off, and I got the paint on. It's the finish is, well, you can see you can see where the roller marks are, but that's going to be underneath the solar panels. But it's got two coats now, and there were a few places on the first coat where it wasn't perfectly covered. So I managed to get those and give them a good go over. So I learned two things. One is that you can't overwork the paint, as in once you've gone over the roller a couple of times, that's it, and that's why I haven't been able to sort of get all the roller marks out. Probably would have helped if I had the thinner, which I don't. And as I said, I didn't really want to wait till Monday, because for the next 2 weeks it's just rain all over the place, so there's no chance of getting it done. And the other thing is, the people that bought me they recommended these sort of fluffy blue rollers, which I used the first coat. And the problem was that as these rollers do start, they shed some of their some of their little bits of fluff. So I actually used some sponge, cheap sponge rolls I had, and actually I was a bit worried because they did say with these epoxy or polyurethane paints that the solvents can sort of dissolve all the sponge, but they don't seem to have done. And it was actually it worked out well. It seems to have worked out a bit better. There wasn't any bits of fluff in it. So yeah. And the wind, there's not so much wind today, so hopefully, cross fingers, the trees behind me will not shed so many leaves. It's just a question of some insects, which I'll pick off in the morning. But it's touch dry now. It's about 6:30 in the evening. It's not due to rain until tomorrow morning. So yeah. Anyway, so that's that. And so catch you next time for back to the dog box. Joy. See you later. I'd literally stopped the camera and walked to the end of the boat. I was just changing my clothes when it started raining. So it's just about touch dry. So I'm crossing my fingers that it manages to shake this off, as it were. And but I guess we'll see in the morning. And if not, well, regardless, there's nothing I can do about it now. It's paint's on and it's there. So cross fingers. Well, quick postscript morning. I'm woken up straight first thing in the morning, out in my pyjamas, but I seem to have got away with it. So it looks like the paint survived. So yes, tick. Very happy about that. Catch you later.